If you have been in the personal growth space, you have most certainly come across the practice of using affirmations. But if you've never tried them, or even if you have, affirmations can sometimes sound a little woo-woo to people, or maybe inauthentic would be the word, silly perhaps. Like in the Saturday night skit that says, I'm good enough, I'm smart enough, and doggone it, people like me. So there's a bit of a sense of roteness or pushedness that can sometimes come with affirmations. When we practice affirmations in a way that's rote, it can actually backfire. There is MRI evidence that suggests that certain neural pathways in our brain actually become more active when we are connected with, in a repeated way, in an ongoing way, with our personal values, with how we see ourselves in valuable ways. So how can we apply the science of affirmations and take this practice into our lives so that we can have more of what we want, be more ready to receive all of the good things that we want, and so that we can feel and behave in a way that's more productive for our lives? We call our next level affirmations incantations, as a way of claiming the magic of speaking your desires in a fully embodied way. When I was in my 20s as a theater student at Circle in the Square Theater in New York City, I had a brilliant method acting teacher named Langdon, who told me and a group of other young actors this incredible truth that has stuck with me for all of these decades. And that is that when we are looking to access authentic emotions and a belief in the reality of a situation or a circumstance or an embodiment or a feeling, that our body cannot deny that which it hears our voices say. It cannot deny the sound that comes out of our mouth. And so he encouraged us to use techniques through breathing exercises, through sound, and through paying attention to the words that we used, by speaking authentically exactly that which we were trying to access for the scene or for the role, in a way that feels deeply true. This process, called method acting, is a technique or a type of acting approach in which an actor aspires to encourage in their body, in their being, a sincere and emotionally expressive experience that can then be performed, that can then be embodied for the character by fully inhabiting the experience. And so it's an emotional oriented technique instead of a classical acting technique that's primarily action based. We're going to apply some acting skills that will help you to experience in a real and authentic way that which you are saying, just in the same way that an actor wants to say their lines in a way that are fully embodied and deeply true, so that as they speak the words, every part of their body, every part of their being believes it to be so. Using breath, using pause, exploring emphasis and meaning, and then doing it all with commitment to the language. So first, breath and pause combined allow us a moment to connect with ourselves and to sink in much the same way that breathing allows us to sink into our bodies when meditating. When you breathe, you can't help but feel more connected to yourself, to your emotions, to what's exactly true. So there's a way of sinking into yourself through breathing that, again, relaxes your nervous system into a place where you can be receptive and connected. And as I model this, I hope you can feel a little bit of the shift that even I, in this moment as I'm speaking, am having as I breathe and take a moment to sink into that breath. And the way that you can experience this is through mirror neurons, which are a powerful way of not only seeing and experiencing visually another person's experience, but actually having it translate into your own body. The second and related technique we're going to explore is using pause. Pause is a fully embodied experience of silence that often in impromptu language would replace where we fill those moments with ah, like, or you know. But what using pause does is allow us to hear the words that we say in a way that our brain and our ears hear as being more truthful and more connected. And then we're going to explore emphasis and meaning. So where do you put the emphasis in any given word so that it feels the most true, the most alive? Which word is the emphasis on? Which word is the emphasis on? Which word is the emphasis on? And so by playing with where we choose to place the emphasis, you'll see that you have quite a bit of choice on what the meaning of your incantation says to your body and how it lands deeply. And then commitment, that means that you're going to say it as if you are all in, as if you fully believe what it is you're saying. And sometimes through doing this process, you may repeat the incantation a few times until it starts to land more fully in your body. Using breath and using pause, using emphasis and commitment, you'll get rid of anything that is anything like rote meaninglessness. Like when you say something over and over again in a way that you don't really mean it, that's not really connected because you're not using breath, and you say, I believe that I am powerful. I believe that I'm powerful. I believe that I'm powerful. I believe that I'm powerful. It just becomes dead. Where if you say, I am powerful, then you can start to experience this as being really true. And again, your body can't deny that truth as it hears it. So it wakes our brains up. It makes our brains pay attention to what we're saying. So the meaning can then be integrated into our belief systems and into our bodies, into every cell of our being. The incantation I'm going to work with is, I release the stories of chaos and disorganization, and I trust myself to take the right action in every moment. Now notice if I say this in a rote way. I release the stories of chaos and disorganization, and I trust myself to make the right action in every moment. I release the stories of chaos and disorganization, and I trust myself to take right action in every moment. I release the stories of chaos and disorganization, and I trust myself to take right action in every moment. So you can see that even as I'm saying it, the feeling of it is I don't really believe it. And when I say it in such a way that it becomes rote, the incantation backfires. Whereas if I can use my techniques of breathing and pause, exploring emphasis in a repeated way, so that I increasingly find a way to say it so that I believe it to be true, that it sounds accurate and sincere and authentic, and I bring my full self and body to expressing it in that way, then it becomes a powerful incantation. If this is useful for you, if you like this kind of content, can you hit subscribe? Can you click the notification bell? Comment if you would like some other kind of content, or you have questions or ideas. I'd love to hear your thoughts. Okay, I think that's it. Big love, and I'll see you next video.